Stopped into town looking for soul gems, and this guy ambushed me.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jolring. I come on behalf of my master, Umbacano. He asked me to deliver this note. I believe it is an invitation to visit him at his manor in the Imperial City. My master is a collector of alien antiquities. It has come to his attention that you recently sold an item that interests him. I believe the note will give you all the details. My master, Umbacano, lives in the Talos Plaza district of the Imperial City. He is known across Cyrodiil as a collector of alien antiquities. You too.
Okay, I think this is like a Stones of Baranzaya type of thing from Skyrim, where there's these statues scattered about. I think they're all in Ayleid ruins. I don't think you find them anywhere else. We found one in that last ruin that we went and explored. But I sold it to one of the merchants here in town, and apparently Umbacano heard about that. But if I remember right, we could have sold that thing, I don't know, in Anvil or something, and that guy would have showed up there just to let us know that his master wanted us to go talk to him. So anyway, I'm sure we'll get a better price from him being a collector for these statues, and I don't know what happens when you get all of them. I'm guessing some kind of special reward or something. Who knows? Anyway, that would essentially require going into just about every Ayleid ruin in the entire map. And there's a lot of them. There are a lot of them. I don't think there's one of those statues in every single one, but I believe there's at least a dozen or so. Something like that. Oh, look at that. I might have to come back for all this. I'm really looking for a grand soul gem, but look at all this stuff. I'm casing the joint. Like a professional thief from the Thieves Guild.
Yes? I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
Okay, well, he's got one, but it's empty. Okay, well, I have one of those. An empty one. I'll probably wind up selling it, honestly. Even if I came across a creature that could fill it, let's just say I did, I couldn't kill it anyway.
Thank you for your patronage. Good day.
Yeah, about the toughest thing I can beat up on right now is something with maybe a lesser soul. That's about it. But I will go back there and peruse the rest of his goods while he's not around, type of thing, huh? Yeah, initially I went to all the different guild halls looking for grand soul gems. I was trying to pickpocket everybody and wound up with a bunch of stuff. Actually made some money doing it. I went ahead and cleaned them out for just about anything else that wasn't nailed down for the most part. I went and sold all that stuff, so I made a decent amount of gold. Might even consider buying the house here. I really like the Waterfront house. It's just a little shack, but to be honest, it might be my favorite house of the game. It's just a little, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just a sentimental thing or something. Nostalgia. There's certainly nicer houses, but the original Waterfront shack, which is, of course, the first house I ever bought, right? Well, I like it. Just a bed and a fireplace. In fact, I think we are going to do that. Need to make sure I save some money so I'm able to do some training. So far, I've been training in armorer between levels, mainly to get points towards endurance, because they're kind of hard to earn. It's kind of the same problem I had in Skyrim. I prefer light armor in Skyrim. I think it looks good. But you can basically take no hits on Legendary. Not enough hits to raise your armor to keep up with your character.
It's time for you to leave, my friend.
Oh, would you look at that? Oh, I happen to have stumbled through the door. Oh, man, how did I wind up here in your shop at 3 in the morning? Why is all your stuff missing? Well,
Fox too.
doesn't have anything to do with me, I'm sure.
My name is Carwin. Remember, I'll be rich and famous one day. He's captain of the Imperial Watch. He's pursuing a personal vendetta against the Thieves Guild and the Grey Fox. I heard the Grey Fox personally humiliated Lex years ago when he tried to arrest Armand Christophe for theft. Lex has never forgotten it. Shadow hiding.
All these shifty characters and pickpockets running around at night in the Imperial
My
City.
dear citizen, there's evil afoot, citizen, and I've little time for chatter. What is it?
Oh, nothing. Just
Move along.
just making sure that I'm not wanted by the law when I do something shifty, and want to make sure I got away with it. Figured if the Imperial Guard had a problem with it, I would be getting arrested. I'd be on my way to jail right now.
I'm only asking for a single coin.
Alright, now we're going to go sell all Carindale's stuff. Sounds good to me. And we're here in the morning. Alright, so let's wait till... shit, 8 o'clock? Probably ought to do it. But yeah, in Skyrim I had a problem running around in light armor, is not really being able to take hits. It's hard to train in light
You
armor.
want something? Well, what is it? I'm really tired. Can we get on with this?
Yeah, on Legendary, even boxing will get you killed
Got
pretty
some
quick
hot
at low
rubber.
levels. So, yeah, it's the same thing here, regardless of what armor you wear.
can't make that
On this difficulty, I mean, you know, when you start the game getting two-shotted by a rat, you know, it's like, oh, okay. Well, the damage is certainly scaled up quite a bit, right? And so the number of hits it takes to raise whatever armor you happen to be wearing, they're doing a lot more damage than that. Well, at least right now they are. You know, and much later when our armor rating is much higher and we can take a lot more damage and
Good.
have a little more survivability, that's one thing. But now, something only has to hit you 3 times to kill you, and you got to take 30 or 40 hits to raise your armor skill one time. Well, that's yeah,
this item for you at that price.
that's a pretty big discrepancy.
I
So
think I can move this item for you at that price. A good price. That seems a fair price.
sure enough, I need the charges and all that, but
I need a nap.
I don't mind making a little money, getting rid of a little weight right here.
Shadow hide you.
Soul gems shouldn't be all that hard to come by. Ideally, I just need a big one. I would prefer... Well, I prefer a grand soul gem, but even a greater one would be nice. Problem is, I pissed those off on my weapons. Although the bow, I'm going to hang on to that for a while. I'll use that for a little bit. But my axe was a piece of crap. And, well, it's a good experiment. Good learning process, but a big waste of a grand soul gem. I think I wasted a greater soul gem recharging it, too, while we were in that dungeon. So now I don't have a lot to work with. So we're going to wind up probably having to enchant this claymore that I have here with common soul gem, which means we can put almost no charge. There's certain things there just won't be room to put on that thing, so we'll just put a, you know, some basic damage enchantment on it and run with it and see how that works.
Venencia Melisea, Office of Imperial Commerce. You got complaints? Of course you got complaints. Who doesn't? I don't trust you enough to talk about that. We'll see.
Interesting. A house that you can barely believe you can even get rid of? You don't want a willing buyer, huh? Alrighty then.
Don't make me That's great. How's it go again? I'm with you completely. Why? I mean, of course. All I have available right now is a hovel on the waterfront. Really? Then you've just become a homeowner. Here is your house key. You'll find it in the waterfront district. It's not much to look at. You may want to spruce it up a bit with some furnishings. I'd suggest talking to Sergius Verus at Three Brothers Trade Goods in the Market District.
Ah, that's right.
Farewell.
That's why I remember the Three Brothers, because one of them sells you the upgrades to your house. Okay, cool. I seriously doubt I can afford them, but we'll go take a look. Kind of glad we're doing this earlier than later, because, yeah, like I was saying, I have a sentimental attachment to this house. Also, a place where I can sleep for free. Although I could have slept at the inn 100 times for the price I just paid for this house. Considering the level cap's 50, well, yeah, odds are I probably wouldn't use the bed that much, but doesn't matter. Now I have a place I can call my own. Also a place to store stuff. Speaking of that, I'm just sitting here running around with like 5 million repair hammers, which I'll use. I've no doubt about that, but I wouldn't mind being able to store some of them.
Go ahead, please. What can I interest you in?
Yeah, each one weighs an entire unit. Oh wow, 606. Holy crap, what's that? 3? I couldn't buy them even if I wanted to. I thought I had a little bit of gold, but okay, well, let me get something. Storage sounds good.
No deal.
Or not.
You're trying to drive
Are
me
you
out of
serious?
business.
Yeah, those repair hammers are an entire unit of weight. If I could drop 20 or 30 of them, just have them there, so if I need some more, I can just go back there and don't have to buy them anymore. That'd be nice. Why don't we go check it out? Go check out my house. I was also thinking while we're here, we'd do something for the Thieves Guild. Haven't really gotten that started yet. I mean, we joined. That's cool. So we have a fence that we can use. That's awesome. I would say half the gold we've gotten is just off of hot merchandise. Here we go. Look at this. I don't care what anyone says about the graphics. This is just... it's the waterfront, man. Just looks... just awesome. There's nothing I don't like about this game. Nothing. Be honest. There we go. Our storage. We just paid 600 gold for a freaking wood chest. Are you serious? I think the place comes with a bed, so yeah, that's about it. We get a dresser and a chest. Okay, then. Well, that's fine. Whatever. Yeah, let me put up some of this stuff. This is a good thing. Yeah, there we go. Why do I keep the wrist irons? Just to remember where I came from. To not forget my roots. Guess I can put that up. I don't know if I need that invitation anymore. It's probably a quest item anyway. Would I have any need for any of this stuff? I think by the time you finish the game, you usually wind up with like 100 keys, right? There we go. I got 61 of the... Yeah, let me put up like half of them. Now that took care of quite a bit of weight. I have a mind to put up all this alchemy stuff too, but I think I'm going to come right back for it. Some of this questing is going to involve a lot of healing and poisons and stuff. And I have no problem with using a bunch of potions. The only reason I haven't made more is because I don't want to waste the intelligence training. Alchemy is considered an intelligence skill, and you can raise your alchemy 10 times in about 2 minutes. If you have enough stuff, you can just sit there and just spam potions. It goes up real fast. And I don't want to waste that. I'd rather have that for later.
For you, but we can't talk about it here. Meet me at the usual place and at the usual time.
In fact, speaking of that, I might actually train in intelligence this time around too. Help with our mana pool and all that. Depends. I tend to lean towards whatever I just happen to train in without necessarily trying. Like if I for whatever reason, we're exploring and wind up shooting a lot of fireballs and doing a lot of healing. Well, that's restoration and destruction. Those are willpower skills. And so, say I raise those between the two a total of 7 or 8 times. Well, might as well just go ahead and train a couple more times, make it an even 10, and then we'll just, when we sleep, we'll level up in willpower that time. And I'll avoid other skills that I'd rather save my points for. Like, for example, intelligence or other stuff. Some that aren't so important to me, like speed. Few points in speed here and there. I already trained once in that, right? But I'm not so worried about getting that to 100, to where you're so damn fast that it's hard to even control your character, type of thing. That's not so important. It's nice to be able to get around a bit. It's nice to be able to get away if you need to, stuff like that. But you know, everything in its own order. It's not the first and foremost thing I want to do right now. If I catch myself already at 10 skills trained towards speed or something, well then, okay, shoot, we'll just do that. As long as I get endurance covered, that's first. And then other random skills, I need to start considering strength too, because having our primary weapon skills up in and of itself will, you know, obviously be real helpful. And then getting our strength up too, extra damage, extra carry weight. I'm always down with that. I mean, hell, we're only, what, levels 6, 7, whatever? So, I mean, we've got a long ways to go, but to me, it's kind of like the game within the game. Making the most out of your leveling. Alright, so lessons learned thus far is that some of the enchantment type things that work on lower difficulties aren't quite as, well, they don't count quite as much. Now, true enough, I didn't have weakness to magic to throw in there along with drain health, but from still the seemingly minimal damage it was doing, I'm guessing that the whole idea of just outright one-shotting your enemy before he even gets a chance to fight type of thing isn't really going to apply so much here. They did a pretty good job on balancing that out of the game, so to speak. Yeah, this is max difficulty, and it's max difficulty. You know, don't come in here half-stepping or you will get your butt tore off the bone, so to speak. And definitely learned my lesson there. And also, really early on, even now, having some poisons handy really made things much easier. The few poisons I did have, using them made it manageable. Not having them made it almost impossible. And there was, like, Fort Blue Blood was borderline impossible. That was brutal. So, lessons learned. It's cool. Like I said, this is the first time I've come through on this difficulty. Not sure exactly to what degree the game would expect certain things. And learn the hard way. Seriously, learn the hard way. I'm glad all this stuff is growing back. Look at all this free alchemy stuff. Give me all this. And this is a godsend if you have the Atronak Burst Sign, which, believe it or not, I normally play with. That is actually my favorite. It gives you such a huge mana pool, and when you get to the point where you can absorb, it gives you a 50% chance to absorb magic. That means any hostile spell. Not only does it not hurt you, but you absorb it and you take the magic for yourself. Well, if you can get that up to basically 100%, oh my gosh. You're absorbing all spells, which means that you're essentially not only immune to magic, but it helps you. And it almost seems unfair type of thing. But you have to suffer a lot to get to that point. The early parts of the game where you can't regenerate your own magicka, if you don't have a lot of those blue Entomola caps and, say, Bog Beacon or whatever else makes magicka regen potions, and even then, your magicka pool is so high that you might have to suck down 4, 5, 6 potions just to get a good percentage of your mana bar back. I mean, it's brutal early on. It's another game within the game, learning how to manage magicka that won't regenerate itself. What is that, only like 2 charges for the next? The difference between 15 and 16 is like 2 charges. I'll take that. Alright, so we get this to 100, and 2 seconds doesn't cost much more than 1. So it should carry over, and as long as we're just laying into somebody, they should be constantly, completely susceptible to frost damage. Don't know if it'll necessarily hurt them more, but they're going to feel the full wrath of my chilled blade. Mwahaha. This little piece of crap that I just made. That's still worth a decent amount of gold for an iron claymore, though. Must be considered a pretty decent enchantment. Let's see how this thing looks. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that shimmer. Very cool. Yeah, it looks good. I don't necessarily like the way it's clipping through my shoulder blade there, but it's a decent looking sword. The iron battle axe, though. Now that, if I find another one of those, I may switch out. This is just temporary. I'm just running with this with a decent enchantment that's at least has some utility, you know. It's at least usable. We'll make something greater later. Probably mix and match a few things. I think ideally having at least 25 or 30 swings out of the weapon is good. Having a weapon you can only swing like 15, 20 times when you don't have just a plethora of soul gems or Azura Star on hand, then yeah, you're just asking to run out of charge and just be left with a wooden stick trying to fight these enemies with. It's ridiculous. So let's say we do the first little novice job for the Thieves Guild. There he comes. This is a familiar scene. Armand walking up with his torch. To meet in the garden at midnight to talk about shifty Thieves Guild stuff. I have a special job for you. The Grey Fox wants such and such. Man, this is bringing back the memories. It really is.
I'm glad you stopped by. I have a situation that you might be able to help with. The Grey Fox has asked me to take care of a problem, but I'm putting you on it. Heironymous Lex actually collected taxes from everyone living here on the waterfront. Your job is to recover those taxes. Are you up for it? Good. Find out where he's keeping the taxes and bring them to me. I'll also need the tax records of what each citizen paid so we can return it. Shadow hide you.
I do not get tired of these quests or these characters or the dialogue or anything. It's just, it always seems fresh. It's interesting. I feel like I'm playing through the story. This is a really, really good dungeon master explaining how the characters are interacting with each other and creating a game world that comes to life in your imagination. If anybody's played D&D, then you know what a really, really good dungeon master can do.
Fox too. I see you're a follower of the Grey Fox too.
Where you can essentially get lost in what your own imaginations are picturing. I guess that's where the allure of, you know, pen and paper games comes from, right? This is, to me, the epitome of a pen and paper game come to life, essentially. I mean, even the menus look like character sheets. Everything from the maps. Yeah, this stuff right here. It's like character sheets. And the writing, everything's just, I mean, wow. The map looks like something on parchment, you know, type of thing. Just beautifully done. And considering what they had to work with at the time, not just the skyline and the lighting and stuff, you know, okay, there's not volumetric god rays, or whatever, still looks good. I can tell I'm in the city at night. Look at the stonework and the carvings and the water stains and stuff like that. I mean, that's beautiful work. That's attention to detail. It's what matters. It gives enough of an impression to put me in this world and keep me there. And I guess that's what the best games do. And this is right up. This is about as good as it gets. Anyway. All right. So the idea, I think, is to get to the very top of this tower without getting caught by the guards. There's an ideal time to do it. I remember it being 3 or 4 in the morning ish. But oh, sweet. Okay. Well, I think my memory served me pretty well this time. Yep. Yeah, if you catch them walking around on any of these floors, they're going to warn you need to leave. And odds are you probably aren't going to be able to get back up in here without getting in trouble. It's considered trespassing. And I'm hoping Heironymous Lex is going to be asleep up here, because I think that's him right there. Alright, so as long as he's having his sweet dreams, then we're going to see if we can't collect the taxes of the poor here. What a cool story. I mean, this is just the start. Just the start of dealing with the Gray Fox. Found the tax records. There we go. 50 gold, huh? All that for 50 gold just to be a dick? Okay, this was a dick move on the part of Lex. It really was. I don't care if he's a peaceful guy and spends his time relaxing and painting and doesn't bother anybody. Whatever. Got a hard-on for the poor down on the waterfront. I mean, even if they are bandit criminals and pickpockets, so what? That's besides the point.
You have my ear, citizen. Speak.
Nobody wants to arrest me? Good deal. Alright, let me just get out of here then. Don't mind me leaving the guardhouse at, 4 or 5 in the morning. Nothing suspicious about that, right? The damn rain. Even the rain and the storms, the weather, the day-night cycle, even that's done well. There's some things that I wish Bethesda just never changed. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Heard someone talk about them considering remastering this and the work that it would take to bring it up to date with the next-gen engine. Apparently it would require remaking the whole game.
Ah, Gray Fox will be very pleased. We will make sure this gets back to the people. Can you believe that fool even bothered to collect this paltry sum? You can keep it. I merely wanted the watch to know they went too far. I think it's time to promote you to footpad. Congratulations on your new guild rank. Shadow hide you.
Alright, we'll wait on that. I know we've fenced plenty of stuff. In fact, we can probably finish the entire quest line, I would imagine. We probably fenced enough for that. If not, real close to it. But I think what I'm going to do is go finish leveling. That's what we need to do. Let's go do a little training or something. I don't know. We'll catch back up and go do something. The world is open to us. Anyway, if you want to subscribe, click that button up top. That'd be cool. If you want to catch the rest of this playthrough, you can click that image in the middle. It should send you straight to the playlist. Y'all take care. Appreciate you hanging out. Bye-bye.